Good morning, students. Today we are going to start the next section in the transcription chapter, that is transcription and RNA processing in eukaryotic cell. In the last class, we have finished the transcription process in prokaryotes. So let me see what about the transcription in eukaryotic cell. When coming to a eukaryotic cell, RNA polymerase exists in different form. Three different types of RNA polymerases are present in eukaryotic cell. Let's see which are the three different types. First is RNA polymerase 1, RNA polymerase 2, RNA polymerase 3. Why such difference exists? Because each type of enzyme is carrying out the transcription of a different type of RNAs. Let us have a look to which type of RNA that each type of polymerase is synthesized. RNA pol 1, it is synthesized ribosomal RNA. Ribosomal RNA means simply we can call it as rRNAs. And one more specialty is here, one more specific point we have to consider, that the rRNA that is synthesized by RNA pol 1, they are all largest ribosomal RNA. Largest ribosomal RNA that includes 28S, 18S and 5.8. These are the largest rRNA that is present in the ribosome. So that all rRNAs are synthesized by RNA pol 1. Then coming to RNA polymerase 2, it carrying out the transcription of mRNA. mRNA is very important. We know that it is the mediator behind for the synthesis of almost all proteins. Without mRNA, any cell can't produce any proteins. And so the transcription of mRNA is carrying out by RNA polymerase 2. And along with that, it also carry out the transcription of smallest nuclear RNAs. Smallest nuclear RNAs like snRNAs and SNO RNAs. Then coming to RNA polymerase 3. RNA polymerase 3, what about that one? It synthesizes very low molecular weight RNA. Very low molecular weight RNA means which all RNAs comes under that category? That includes tRNAs, 5S RNA and U6SN RNAs. Okay, that's the difference. That's the difference in its function. Okay, the existence of these three different RNA pol, that is a main difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. If we think about, or if we are studying about the transcription of prokaryotes and eukaryotes, this is a main difference. In the case of prokaryote, we already learned that there is only one RNA polymerase. But as coming to the eukaryote, three different types of RNA pol exist. Okay. Next, we are going to understand about two terms, two things, that is primary transcript and transcription unit. What is primary transcript and what is transcription unit? That I am going to show you. We know that three different types of RNAs are synthesizing in each cell. That include mainly of mRNA, tRNA and rRNA. rRNA means ribosomal RNA. All these three different types of RNAs are synthesized out of a precursor large or long RNA molecule. And that RNA molecule is called primary transcript. Primary transcript means what? It is a lengthier, longer RNA from which the three different types of RNA are processed and formed. So I think what is primary transcript? It is very clear to you now. And one more thing, this primary transcript or the precursor RNA molecule, it is having the same length that of the DNA from which it get transcribed. Okay, and that segment of DNA from where it get transcribed, that segment of DNA. It is called the transcription unit. I think it's very clear to you what is transcription unit and is what is primary transcript. Primary transcript is the precursor RNA molecule that from that all the three major types of RNA are forming. And how these three major different types of RNAs are forming from this precursor RNA by a series of cut and paste reactions. Okay. Next is synthesis and processing of ribosomal and transfer RNA. And for understanding this, first we need to learn about rDNA or ribosomal DNA. In a eukaryotic cell, if we take the case of a single cell, it contains millions of ribosomes. And if we take one ribosome, inside this ribosome we can see many RNAs and many proteins. And these RNAs are called rRNAs. Okay. And if we take the case of a single cell, 80% of the RNA that is present in that cell are of rRNAs. And these rRNAs are formed from multiple repeats of DNA sequence. That means a particular sequence of DNA, and that sequence repeated hundreds of times. Okay, and that repeated DNA sequence that code for this rRNA is called rDNA. So repeats. A particular sequence, stretch of sequence, it is repeating hundreds of times. And that DNA that codes for rRNA is called rDNA. And where we can see this rDNA, it is clustered in one or more. It is one, not on. Where we can see this RNA, it is clustered in one or more regions of the genome. Genome means what? Genome means is the haploid number of chromosome that is present in a single cell. Half set of chromosome. That is rDNA, and where we can locate it. It is clustered in one or more regions of the genome. That means it is found in. It is means that clusters we can found in different chromosomes. In human, 5 such clusters are present, and that clusters are located in different chromosomes. And these clusters of DNA are gathered together, and they are found usually inside the nucleoli. Nucleoli, what is nucleoli? We clearly know that what is nucleoli. It's a spherical structure that we can see inside the nucleus. As we learn or try to understand more deep about the nucleoli, we can see inside in the nucleoli, a matrix is present and a granular portion is present. Granular portion is mainly composed of ribosomal precursors, large subunit or small subunit, already synthesized by this nucleolus itself. And some fibrillar portion also there. Fibrillar portion most oftenly composed of nascent rRNA that is just only produced. Just only synthesis, nascent rRNA, and its template are DNAs. That too constitutes the fibrillar portion of the nucleolus. And some intranucleolar chromatin also we can see inside the nucleolus. Okay. Next is synthesizing the rRNA precursors. In the DNA molecule, these rRNA genes are arranged randomly. Randomly means one after the other. In that pattern, these rRNA genes are arranged. And then in what pattern that rRNA transcription is going on? If you observe a DNA molecule that is having different or multiple copies of rRNA gene under an electron microscope or like that, then we can see it in the form of a Christmas tree. Why it is having a Christmas tree like appearance? Because as many multiple copies of rRNA genes are tangibly arranged along this DNA molecule. From each gene, the transcription of rRNA is occurring. So each transcript looks like the branch of a Christmas tree, and the main trunk of that Christmas tree be the DNA molecule. That's why it has a Christmas tree like appearance. We observe under some sophisticated microscopes. At the base of each transcript, we can see the RNA polymerase 1 enzymes that is transcribing each gene. Okay. Then, what is the transcription unit? What is transcription unit? I have already explained to you in the former slide. Means that length of the DNA from which the first precursor rRNA is transcribed, get transcribed. That length of DNA or represents a single transcription unit. If we consider this as a transcription unit, its beginning, its a portion be the promoter, and next to that will be the initiation point. And beyond that, from that point onwards, is transcription is going on. If you observe a DNA molecule under highly refined microscope, how can we understand the transcription unit? It's very simple, because the region of the DNA that is between the shortest RNA transcript and the longest RNA transcript be a single transcription unit. Okay, that means here one round of transcription is going to be finished. Here another round is going to start. That's what. In that way, we can identify one transcription unit. Okay. Next is about clumps and associated particles. That means if you observe that newly synthesizing rRNA transcript, we can see associated with many proteins and other particles. Actually, what are those particles? They are simply certain RNAs and proteins. What is the role of these RNAs and proteins? Actually, these RNAs and proteins, they are modifying this newly synthesizing rRNA precursor to the final rRNA transcript. Okay, the final form. It converts, actually this RNAs and proteins converts the precursor rRNA transcript to the final rRNA transcript, and also helps to incorporate this rRNA transcript to the subunits of ribosome. Next is about a non-transcribed spacer. Spacer itself indicate means it is something that is present between some other objects or anything like that. Likewise, in the case of DNA molecule that is involving in the transcription of rRNA, we have already learned that there is certain stretch of DNA molecule is there that is responsible for generating rRNA precursor molecule. Okay, that stretch of DNA is called the transcription unit. And till here we understand that, or we have learned that these transcription units are arranged randomly, means one after the other along the DNA molecule. But in actual sense, it is not like that, because what's the difference? What is the actual situation? Situation is that there are some special sequence are present in between the adjacent transcription units. Here, some different type of sequences. These sequences will not involve in the transcription process. It is not get transcribed to any type of RNA. This sequence, and such type of sequences are called non-transcribed spacers. Okay, And such type of spaces we can find in the DNA molecule that is concerned with the transcription of tRNA, and also in the for the case of histone proteins. Okay, that is known transcript spaces. Next we are going to see about processing the rRNA precursors. By this time we have learned that from the transcription unit, one rRNA precursor is forming, and but that precursor is not the final form. We have to modify it to get the final form of rRNA. So that's what we are going to see. Before that, we need to understand about different types of rRNAs. In the case of eukaryotic ribosome, it contains 4 types of RNAs. 3 in the largest subunit and 1 in the small subunit. If we consider the case of human, in the largest subunit, the 3 rRNAs that can be found are 28S rRNA, 5.8S rRNA, and 5S rRNA. These are the 3 different rRNA, ribosomal RNA, that can be found in the largest subunit of human ribosomes. And which is the single rRNA that we can find in the small subunit? It is 18S rRNA. And regarding that 28S, this 28S and single rRNA that is found in the small subunit, that is 18S, and 5.8S is other rRNA that we can find in the largest subunit. These 3 rRNAs are carved, or it is modified out of a single precursor rRNA using different nucleases inside. So all these 3 are carved out of or modified out of a single precursor RNA. Then what about the other one? Other one means what left here? The 5S rRNA. From where it is modified? Is a difference. That rRNA, that is the 5S rRNA that is present in the last subunit, it is modified from another precursor rRNA. Where it is found, that is a specialty. It is not present inside the nucleolus. Instead, it is present outside the nucleolus. That's importance. That precursor rRNA is present outside the nucleolus, and from that precursor rRNA, the 5S rRNA is carved out. Okay. Next is about the peculiarities of precursor rRNA. This is the rRNA that is formed as a result of the transcription of the DNA molecule. And as it is formed, then the first splicing or modification happened to that precursor rRNA molecule. After that splicing, after the first cut, certain modifications are happening to this precursor rRNA. It is very important. What are that modification? About 100 methyl groups are randomly adding to the ribose unit of the precursor rRNA. And second modification is that randomly here and there some uridines are modified to pseudo-uridine. What is the significance of these two modifications? Because as this rRNA undergoes further splicing or modification or degradation, only those portions where these alteration happen, that only retain along with the final rRNA transcript. What left with the final rRNA transcript is only the modified, altered portions. Okay. Then by that itself we can understand the significance of this alteration. This alteration actually protect the rRNA transcript from the enzymatic cleavage of different enzymes. Okay, there's another instance also there. Instance means an enzyme that is responsible for converting the uridine to pseudo uridine. Um, in those persons, they are having some mutation, or those persons that are lacking that enzyme, this conversion, this modification is not taking place, and that person is suffering from a fatal disease called dyskeratosis. Dyskeratosis means it is characterized by skin abnormalities, bone marrow failure, and even cancer also noted from such person. It is highly fatal, and that itself indicate that the significance of this alteration, addition of or modification of uridine to pseudo uridine at some location, and also the addition of methyl group to the ribose unit at random position along the precursor rRNA molecule. And in all those position that is modified, it remain conserved in all organisms also. Okay. Next, we are going to see which are the stages in the processing of rRNA. And this is the first transcript, first rRNA transcripts that is formed from the DNA molecule. It's the longest rRNA. It is called 45S rRNA. And this 45S rRNA undergoes some nucleotide modification and become another type of rRNA transcript that is called 32S rRNA transcript. At this stage, it undergoes that modification. Modification means this modification I already told you in the former slide. The addition of methyl group and the conversion of specific uridine to pseudo uridine by specific enzymes. And we can see that modification in this image also. And then it undergoes further cleavage and attain the final form of three different rRNA transcript like 18S, 5.8S and 28S rRNA. And we can very clearly see that altered, modified bases here along with the final transcript. That means it is very important to get the final transcript. And also one more significance for this alterations. What is that significance? That significance is that with the help of or after having this alteration only, this final transcript can attain its 3D folding, three-dimensional folding. Uh, so that is, in that way also these alterations are important. Okay, these are the stages. So you have to understand about 45S rRNA, and next stage is 32S, and the important alterations occurring in that stage, and after that again it undergoes further cleavage and resulted the final rRNA transcripts, three different rRNA transcripts. Then what left here? We need to discuss about 5S rRNA. That is not mentioned here. That I will explain in the coming slide. Okay. Next is about the snRNA. What is snRNA? What is its role in the transcription of rRNA? That's what we are going to see in this slide. This is the precursor rRNA. It is just transcribed from the rDNA. rDNA means what? The DNA from which rRNA get transcribed. That DNA is called rDNA. Okay. This is the precursor rRNA molecule, and we have already learned that this rRNA molecule need different stages of processing to become the final rRNA transcripts. For that processing, it needs some other RNA molecules. That RNA molecules are called small nucleolar RNA. And this nucleolar RNA is doing that processing not alone. It is doing that processing with the help of some other proteins. So, as it is seen associated with some other proteins, this small nucleolar RNA, then called as small nucleolar RNPs, ribonucleoproteins. Okay, next we are going to see how it is happening. This is the rDNA, and here we can see the rRNAs keep on transcribing, and the transcription is carrying out by the RNA polymerase 1 enzyme, and it is almost going to reach its final phase, that is going to finish the transcription of this rRNA. And before the final phase of transcription or completion of the transcription, there appear an RNA. That RNA is called U3SNO RNA. This is a type of small nucleolar RNA. Okay, and this U3SNO RNA is seen associated with 2 dozen of different proteins. Okay, it is seen associated with 2 dozen of different proteins. Even if I draw this picture in the form of a linear pattern, actually it is not seen in the form of a linear way. Instead, it is seen or appeared in the form of a globular mass. Okay, before the final phase of transcription, this U3SNO RNA along with 2 dozen of protein come and bind the 5' end of the nascent rRNA. Then what it is doing? It slice away the 5' end of the newly synthesizing rRNA. Okay, and that splicing is usually done by some exosomes. Exosomes, we know that exosomes are those enzymes that act on the bonds that seen towards the terminal end of that RNA. So such type of enzymes is acting here. Also they are called the exosomes. Okay, in this way, this SNO RNA or small nucleolar RNA is helping in the processing of precursor rRNA. Okay, next I am going to tell you about the different types of SNO RNA. SNO RNA can be divided into two categories based on its abundance. First one is that type of snRNA that is present in large quantities. Large quantities means it occupies 10 raised to 6 copies per cell. And the U3 snRNA and several other types comes under this category. And the second category includes snRNA that is found in very low concentration inside the cell, that accounts only 10 raised to 4 copies per cell. Then again this low concentrated snRNA can again classified into two categories based on its function and also based on the similarities in nucleotide sequence between different snRNAs. Then which are the different types? First one is box C slash D snRNAs. This type of snRNA, it determines which ribose moieties in the pre-rRNA need to be methylated. Understand? In the former slides, I have explained that before the final stage of processing of rRNA, it undergoes some modification, alterations in the ribose moiety, and also uridine get converted to pseudouridine. Relating with that, I am mentioning this snRNA. So box C slash D snRNA, it determine which ribose moieties in pre-rRNA need to get methylated. And other type is box H slash ACA snRNA. They determine which uridine bases need to be converted to pseudouridine. These are the two types. Next I am going to explain about the action of snRNA. For that we know that this is the, suppose this is the rDNA, and from this rDNA the rRNA is being transcribed, and that time came the SNO RNA. We know that SNO RNA is associated with many proteins or enzymes, and this SNO RNA has a specific stretch of 20 to 21 nucleotides sequence that is complementary to the rRNA. That sequence is complementary to the rRNA. By that way, it form an RNA hybrid. After forming this hybrid, SNO RNA recruits the enzymes. Enzyme means which enzymes? Maybe a methylase or sometimes a pseudo-uridylase to modify specific bases in the rRNA, for helping the processing of rRNA to form the final rRNA transcript. Okay, and in cases if the genes coding for this SNO RNA is absent, or if it is mutated, what will happen? That SNO RNA will not transcribe or formed in that particular cell, and as a result, what will happen? That particular base in the rRNA will not get modified, and as a result, in the processing pathway, that base may get discarded, and the resulted rRNA out of that nascent rRNA may be unfunctional. So that SNO RNA is that much important in the processing pathway of rRNA. Okay. Next, I am going to explain about the assembly of ribosomal subunit. We know that ribosome consists of a large subunit and small subunit, and each subunit is composed of RNAs and proteins. Okay, then we have learned that the nucleolus is the site where the transcription of rRNA is occurring, and similar to that, the assembly of ribosomal subunits also takes place inside the nucleolus. Okay, then after the rRNA get completely processed, then that time also that rRNA is seen associated with the two types of protein. First includes ribosomal proteins, and the second group are known as accessory protein. That ribosomal proteins need to be retained inside the ribosome itself along with the rRNA. Then regarding the accessory proteins, we have just learned that during the processing of the rRNA, it form a hybrid with the SNO RNA. That hybrid we need to release or dissociate. That dissociation happen with the help of another class of proteins or enzymes called helicases. All these are present within the SNO RNA itself in the form of proteins or enzyme subunits. So, with the help of that helicases, that SNO RNA get detached from the rRNA. So, that's about the accessory protein. Then that assembly of ribosome is happening inside the nucleolus. Next is about the synthesis and processing of fibers rRNA. Regarding its synthesis or processing, I didn't mention along with the other rRNA. I think you remember that. So we are going to see that. Except this fibers rRNA, all the other rRNAs, its the synthesis and processing happen inside the nucleolus. But in the case of this fibers rRNA, it happens outside the nucleolus. And for this fibers rRNA also, there is a set of or randomly arranged rRNA genes. They are called 5S rRNA genes. Regarding its arrangement, this also arranged randomly one after the other in the form itself. This 5S rRNA genes also arranged, and in between the transcription unit we can see spaces, means non-transcribed spaces also we can see, like ways in the case of other rRNA genes. And from this rRNA genes, from each transcription unit, a precursor 5S rRNA is formed, and its 5' end. This 5' end is exactly is similar to the final mature 5S rRNA. And towards this 3' end, this portion is composed of unwanted extra additional nucleotides that need to be discarded or removed during its processing. After removing this unwanted portion, this precursor 5S rRNA become the final 5S rRNA. And one more difference exists here. It's a difference regarding the enzyme that carrying out the transcription of this rRNA. In the case of other rRNAs like 28S or 18S or 5.8S rRNA, in those all cases the transcription is performed by RNA polymerase 1. But in this case, the transcription is performed by RNA polymerase 3. That is another difference. Okay. Then after the completion of the transcription of 5S rRNA, here it is transported towards the nucleolus for its assembly inside the ribosome. Okay, with this we finish today's class and section. Thank you.